Welcome back. Time now to get real. And tonight I want to address not only the role that those ridiculous and totally unreliable and biased election polls played in this election, but also the role that the mainstream media played on election night and now moving forward. Earlier in the show, we discussed how the media used polls that were conducted by left-leaning think tanks or even their own biased internal polls to portray that the president was losing to Joe Biden by, in most cases, look on the right side of your screen, double digits. They even went so far as to have him losing in dominant red states like Florida and Texas. Come on, man. Give me a break. We all now know how those states turned out. Again, I want you to take a look at the chart. Can we keep it up, guys? Just a little bit more. It shows about a dozen or so of the major polls that were out just days before the presidential election. Look at those numbers. 7, 8, 10, 11 points. What crap. These polls deceived the American people. And more importantly, they lied to those voters who may, I say may, were still undecided or on the fence about who they were voting for. And that in and of itself, not only shoddy journalism, it is unethical, it is unfair, and it's downright disgusting in my book. Now, let's take a look at election night and how the mainstream media influenced the outcome. But first, I want to show you a now deleted tweet by the oh-so-fair New York Times. Put it on the screen, boys and girls, for everyone to see. Look at this. The role of declaring the winner of a presidential election in the U.S. falls to the news media. No, it does not. The broadcast networks and cable news outlets have vowed to be prudent. I can only laugh because I'm so mad. Really? It's the media's role to declare a winner? I thought that was the job of each election state officials who count the ballots, legal ones, and then give you the totals. And then each state adds up, not the media. Now, after the Times got a lot of flack for that tweet, they actually removed it. Then they corrected themselves. So I'll give them fair airtime. Here's their correction. We've deleted an earlier tweet that referred to the role of the news media in the U.S. presidential election. But here's the kicker. The news media projects winners and reports results. It does not declare the winner of an election. Duh. I'm so glad you guys over at the Times realized that you were wrong and totally full of you know what. But what they said does lead me into the next part of my Get Real rant and why we all have to get real on how the television media reports election night coverage and how their coverage influenced and changed the results of this election.
All right, welcome back. This is CNN special live coverage, 10:31 a.m. on the East Coast.
Just remember that after the 2016 election, there were a lot of Democrat leaders urging people to hit the streets. Maxine Waters, remember what she said, and it was about getting in people's faces.
Donald Trump is playing catch up in Arizona. He's trying to erase this lead that Joe Biden has statewide, 43,569 votes.
Look, did we really think it was going to be over in one night, the first night? Would the fake news Democratic establishment let that happen?
Now, on the night of the election, you had all the major cable outlets going wall-to-wall, nonstop coverage, and they still are at this hour, days later. Nothing wrong with that, right? But here's where I see the big issue. When you have a station like Fox News not willing to call Florida, with over 97% of the vote already in, you are doing damage. How so? Think about it. As news stations throughout the night made the decision early in the night to give states to Biden, but not declare Trump the winner in other states, what happens? Voters in states where polls have not closed yet, Central, Mountain, out west, may change their minds, not even maybe head out to vote, or worse, change their vote. So it comes down to this. The media is a very powerful tool, and if directed one way or the other, can definitely influence an election. Plus, add on top of that the absurd left-leaning polls that we discussed earlier, and the fact that we have evidence of voter fraud. And you have what we are all now facing as a nation, an absolute mess, with the American people getting screwed. We now have even more distrust in the media, like we trusted most of them in the first place, and distrust of the legitimacy and fairness of the election process. So, my friends, it is time to get real and realize that we need a complete and total revamp of the election system. And there needs to be guidelines put in place on the national media when it comes to reporting results of an election on the night of. And oh yeah, don't ever believe those ridiculous polls. And that's going to do it for Real America Tonight. If you'd like to reach out to our show, there's the information. Shoot us an email, sound off online. We like them all, good and bad. Hope you enjoy your weekend. We'll see you Monday right here, same time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. But until then, remain calm, be proud, be safe, and God bless.